So here we are once again with another OPPO Reno unit. The last Reno I owned was the OPPO Reno 12 5G, which I used for about a year. Fast forward to today, we now have the Reno 14, but not the mid-tier Reno 14 5G or the Pro version. Instead, I went for the most budget-friendly option, which is the Reno 14F. Honestly, I didn't plan on getting any of the Reno 14 series. Like many of you, I felt they were a bit overpriced. When I sold my OPPO Reno 12 5G and started looking for a replacement, I skipped the Reno 14 and went with the Galaxy A56 instead. But then came the September 9 sale or the 9/9 sale, and I couldn't resist the vouchers, discounts, and the 12-month zero interest installment plan Shopee was offering. So here we are, unboxing and reviewing the Reno 14F. Now, is this phone worth it or is it still overpriced? Let's find out. Now unboxing the OPPO Reno 14F. First, we have the quick guide and safety guide. Then a clear phone case. And here's the unit itself. Sleek and stylish. Next, we have the 45 watts fast charger, USB-C cable, and SIM ejector pin. And finally, the free OPPO Enco Buds 3 Pro. All set. Now let's talk about the design and build of the Reno 14F. Personally, I'm really liking the flat edges on this one. I've honestly grown tired of curved edges like the ones of my old Reno 12. I don't know, maybe it's the iPhone fanboy in me talking. But flat just feels cleaner and more modern. I got the luminous green variant, which looks pretty cool in person. I was actually aiming for the opal blue, but yeah, it went out of stock just when I was about to check out. Classic. One thing I'm not a fan of though is that painted glow around the camera module. When I first saw photos and videos of the Reno 14 series, I thought it had actual glowing lights around the camera, like physical LEDs. Turns out, it's just paint. I kinda wish they skipped that and went with a simpler, cleaner look. But hey, that's just me. I know some people might actually like that design touch. As for the size, this one's just right for me. It's got a 6.57-inch display, 7.7mm thickness, and weighs only 180 grams. It feels great in the hand and I can comfortably use it with one hand, which is a big plus. The body is made of plastic but it's paired with an aluminum frame, so it still feels solid and premium without being heavy. And yeah, that also keeps the price down. Just one downside, the matte finish on the back is a bit of a smudge and fingerprint magnet. So if you're picky about keeping your phone looking clean, better slap on the free case provided by OPPO to keep it protected and looking fresh. Speaking of build quality, this phone is rated IP68 and IP69. which means it's dust tight and water resistant. You can actually submerge it underwater and even take photos or record 4K videos while you're down there. Pretty impressive for a budget-friendly device. Now let's move on to the display. The Reno 14F comes with a 6.57-inch AMOLED screen display. And honestly, it looks great. It's protected by AGC Dragon Trail glass, which, okay, I'll admit, isn't as tough as the Gorilla Glass 7i you get on the Reno 14 5G. But here's the twist. The 14F actually has a brighter display, with a peak brightness of 1400 nits compared to just 1200 nits on its pricier sibling. So yeah, outdoor visibility, no problem. It's got full HD plus resolution of 2372 by 1080 pixels with a pixel density of 397 ppi. That's more than enough to give you rich colors, sharp details, and an overall vivid viewing experience. And by the way, here it is, streaming Netflix with the speaker volume set to 100%. And get this, it can actually go up to 300% volume. Pretty loud if you ask me. One thing I really appreciate is the thin bezels. The screen-to-body ratio is 93.04%, which makes the front look super clean and immersive. It's one of those things you don't really notice until you use a phone with chunky bezels again. And then you're like, no. You also get a 120Hz refresh rate, which is smooth enough for everyday use. I know some people out there are like, why not 144Hz? But come on, for real-world usage in most apps, 120Hz is more than enough. And yes, it's Widevine L1 certified, so you can stream HD content on Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, and all that good stuff. No compromises there. Alright, now let's talk about performance. And I'll be honest, this is where things get a bit meh. The Reno 14F is powered by the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1, which, yeah, is a bit of a dated chipset. It came around 3 years ago, and for a phone this price range, I kinda wish OPPO went with something more powerful, like a Snapdragon 7 series, which a lot of similarly priced phones are already using. This is actually one of the reasons why people say that the Reno 14 series feels a bit overpriced. I got the 8GB RAM and 256GB storage variant, which is decent. And thankfully, it still has a micro SD slot. So if 256 isn't enough for you, you can easily expand it. That's a win. Now, performance-wise, the Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 isn't a beast, but it's balanced. It handles daily tasks smoothly, social media, browsing, messaging, even light gaming. It's not going to blow your mind, but it gets the job done. For gaming, the Reno 14F works great for casual titles like Mobile Legends or Clash Royale. You get good frame rates, and I didn't notice any stuttering or lag during gameplay. It also comes with its own gaming engine called HyperBoost, where you can choose between low power, balance, or performance mode depending on your needs. Plus, there are extra features like a system's status monitor, which is handy if you want to keep an eye on temps and performance while gaming. Surprisingly, Call of Duty Mobile ran really well. I was able to play on very high graphic settings at 60 FPS, which is honestly I didn't expect from a phone with a Snapdragon 6 Gen 1. It also helps that the phone uses UFS 3.1 storage, which makes uploading and multitasking feels snappy. Overall, for casual and even some moderately demanding games, the Reno 14F holds up nicely. Just don't expect flagship level performance for the most graphically intense titles. And when it comes to thermal management, I was actually surprised. It has a solid cooling system and I was able to play for longer sessions without any major heating issues or throttling. For benchmarks, I ran Antutu and here's what we got. Pretty decent results overall. All Reno 14 series runs on ColorOS 15, which is built on Android 15. So you're getting the latest and greatest right out of the box. And I gotta say, it runs smooth. No hiccups, no weird lags. What really stood out to me though are the AI features. OPPO actually packed in a bunch of smart tools that aren't just gimmicks, they're actually useful. One of my favorite is the AI Network Booster. Combine that with the AI Cellular Network Switcher and AI Super Wi-Fi Booster, and you've got a phone that's really trying to keep you connected. I live in an area with pretty weak signal, so these features have been a lifesaver. I haven't missed any calls or SMS messages when I use this phone, even when I was using my old Reno 12, which is honestly impressive. There are also some fun and creative AI tools like AI Flash Live Photo or Dynamic Photography, AI Perfect Shot that helps fix facial expression in photos, and AI Style Transfer if you're into creative photo editing. And then there's AI Voice Scribe, which can do real-time translation. Super handy if you travel or deal with multilingual content. Overall, ColorOS 15 feels polished, and the AI features aren't just there for show, they actually add value to the experience. The Reno 14F features a triple rear camera setup and a single front-facing camera. The main sensor is a 50 megapixel wide-angle lens with a 1.8 aperture and 2-axis optical image stabilization, which really helps keep shots steady, especially in low light or when you're shooting handheld. Backing that up, you got an 8 megapixel ultra-wide lens for those wider scenes, great for landscapes or group shots, and a 2 megapixel macro lens for close-up details. Here are some sample shots taken with the OPPO Reno 14F. Now this is selfie video from the front camera in 1080p, testing how it sounds in selfie mode. On the front, there is a 32 megapixel wide-angle selfie camera, and I have to say it's pretty solid. Selfie portraits and video calls look sharp and well lit, even in less than ideal lighting. The main wide-angle lens consistently delivered impactful photos. Colors are vibrant and detail is impressive for a mid-range phone. That said, I did miss having a dedicated telephoto lens. It's not a deal breaker, but if you're used to zooming in optically, you'll feel the absence. Digital zoom is okay, but it's just not the same. For video, the OIS really helps keep footage stable, especially when walking or panning. And yes, you can shoot 4K videos, which is a nice touch at this price point. Overall, the camera setup is versatile enough for everyday photography and social media content. It's not flagship level, but it definitely holds its own. For the battery, it's packing a massive 6000 milliamp battery, which is honestly one of the biggest you'll find in this category. That kind of capacity means you're getting serious longevity, whether you're a heavy user or just casually scrolling throughout the day. In my testing, the battery performance was exceptional. I ran the PC Mark III battery benchmark and the Reno 14F clocked in at 12 hours and 18 minutes. That's impressive, especially considering the bright AMOLED display and 120Hz refresh rate. In real-world use, this phone easily lasts a full day of heavy usage. And if you're more of a moderate user, you can stretch it to 2 days without needing a recharge. When it's time to top up, you've got OPPO's 45 watts Super flash charge. It's fast and reliable, perfect for those moments when you need a quick boost before heading out. So if battery life is a priority for you, the Reno 14F definitely delivers. So final verdict, is the OPPO Reno 14F worth it? Now if you're just looking at the specs on paper and comparing it to other phones in the same price range, then yeah, it does seem a bit overpriced, especially with that older Snapdragon 6 Gen 1 chipset. But here's the thing, I didn't pay full price. With all the discounts, vouchers, and that sweet zero interest installment deal I got during the 99 sale, plus the free EncoBuds 3 Pro, it suddenly felt like a pretty solid deal. Add to that the premium build quality, a design I genuinely love, and the massive battery, and I'd say, yes, it's worth it. It's not perfect, but for what I paid and what I got, I'm happy with it. Now, if you're considering this phone, just make sure to grab it during promo or sale. That's when it really makes sense. Anyway, that's it for this review. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.